Hey guys and gals, F it all here, and this is the recap from the first week of my 60-day challenge with Insanity Max 30. Just so we're all clear and upfront about everything, this is not a paid advertisement for Insanity Max 30. I purchased it with my own money, and I am not being compensated or reimbursed in any way by Beachbody. Okay, now that that's out of the way, let's talk about my first week with the program. First, I'd like to talk about the workouts. I'm doing a fully modified version of every move for reasons discussed in the introduction video to the series. Even with the modifier, I was unable to finish the full 30 minutes of any of the 5 Monday through Friday videos. And this is absolutely because I'm in terrible shape. I just don't have the stamina to exercise vigorously for that long. I did, however, push myself until I didn't feel I could reasonably do anymore and got varying results. My favorite workout was sweat intervals. With its shorter bursts of exercise interspaced with regular breaks, I just enjoy the pace of it. A close second was the Friday fight. The enthusiasm in this video is really inspiring, and even though I was absolutely exhausted from being at the end of the week on a new exercise routine, I felt like I pushed myself harder with this video than I did with the others. My least favorite is definitely Tabata Power. This video is done twice a week on Tuesday and Thursday, so I'm hoping as time passes and I get stronger, this will be less of a struggle for me. I'm really having a hard time with the push-up moves. I just don't have any upper body strength. I did find that putting a cushion under my knees helped to greatly relieve the pressure there, and made it easier for me to focus on getting the most out of the workout instead of constantly thinking about the bruising on my knees. I also found that when I need to take unscheduled breaks in order to catch my breath, if I spend that time stretching, I'm not as sore the next morning, so that really helped. A little stretching after the workout seemed to also relieve muscle stiffness, so even though it's not included in the video, I definitely think that's going to be added in as part of my daily routine. Believe it or not, I've actually found the nutrition plan to be more difficult to consistently follow than the workouts. I still feel like I'm forcing myself to eat a ton of food, and I've spent more time in the kitchen in the past week than I probably did in the 3 weeks prior to starting the program. I feel like more meal prep and planning is needed to make my kitchen time more efficient, so I'm going to look for some recipes where I can bulk cook things and pre-package them into meals for myself so I don't feel like I'm constantly standing over the stove. The first recipe I tried was vanilla yogurt and berries, and it was excellent. I used soy yogurt, of course, which doesn't have quite as much protein, but it's a nice sweet treat and it does throw together easily when you're in a hurry in the morning. It's also relatively portable. I found it works well with a variety of fruits like bananas and nectarines in addition to the berries that are recommended. And I've also been slicing some raw almonds in to satisfy the healthy fat item on the daily food requirement. I tried eating the 12 raw almonds whole on their own and I didn't like it at all. But sliced into yogurt with fruit and vanilla extract, it gives a nice texture and nuttiness. I also tried their citrus grilled steak, which was fantastic. I'm not generally a fan of big hunks of beef, and I don't tend to eat a lot of steak. When I do, it's usually buried under a lot of sauce or sliced up in a fajita, so I was surprised that it didn't need any additional salt or gravy. It was great just as it was, and the portion was just right. The food tracker I made up in Google Sheets worked like a charm. I just left it open in the background while I did my normal daily stuff, so it was really easy to just toss the numbers in when I ate, and the alarms in my phone going off to remind me when to eat were definitely essential to getting in all the meals the nutrition guide recommends. Often, I was eating when I wasn't actually hungry, so I wouldn't have necessarily gone seeking food on my own. I did notice towards the end of the week that I started getting hungry 15 to 20 minutes before the alarm was going off, so I think my body's getting used to eating smaller meals spread out evenly every 2 to 4 hours. And I think it's going to be interesting to watch how this works in week 2. One thing I've noticed, and I'm attributing this to the diet, is that I smell different. Not bad, just strange. I don't smell like me. It's probably because of all the meat and eggs, which I'm not really used to eating. And it's possible that this will pass over time as my body balances itself out, or that I'll just get used to the smell. I'll let you know how that goes. My face also seems quite a bit oilier. I struggled with pretty severe acne right up until my early 30s, and it's only really started to clear up in the past 2 to 3 years. I think this is partially because I had a drastic climate change when I moved to England. partly because I have a lot less stress now than when I did when I was working in corporate America, and partly just because I'm getting older and my hormones are changing. It's possible that the oiliness will subside as my body adjusts to the new food and exercise program, but if it doesn't, I'll keep you updated if I start having a lot of breakouts or if I need to change my skincare routine. One last thing I noticed from last week. I'm sleeping harder for longer. I'm generally a pretty light sleeper, and it's normal for me to wake up several times in the night to adjust my position. Because I have fibromyalgia, it means I'm in pain pretty much all the time, and I get stiff and sore if I'm in a position for too long, which makes a long, deep sleep pretty much impossible. This past week, though, that hasn't seemed to matter. At first, I thought I was just wearing myself out, but it carried on through the weekend, even though I wasn't actually doing a workout video. According to the Fitbit I've been wearing for the past month and a half, last month I averaged 7 hours and 52 minutes of sleep per night, but I was waking up an average of 10 times per night. Not just getting restless, actually waking up. This past week, I've averaged 8 hours and 51 minutes of sleep per night, which is a whole extra hour, and I've only been waking up an average of 3 times per night, which means I'm sleeping deeper, longer. That is a huge difference, and let me tell you, I feel amazing. Between the additional sleep and the energy high I'm getting off the exercise, I've been more active in the past week than I have been in a long time. I'm in a better mood, I'm more playful with my husband, I just want to do more. My interest in hobbies and projects has been reignited. I just feel better overall than I have in years, and I'm only a week into it. I can't wait to see what happens in the next month or so. Alright, so far we've gone over the food and the exercise and what those changes have done for my daily life. Let's talk about the results. So far, I've lost a total of 5.5 inches off my body and 2.6 pounds. Now, that may not seem like a lot, but you have to keep in mind that this is only 5 days we're talking about. I measured myself Saturday morning so I could start working on this video. I'll keep measuring myself every Saturday and keep a running tally of how much I've lost, both in inches and in pounds as we go along. And of course, you can always see what I'm doing by checking the daily log in the link below. So there you have it, a quick recap of week 1 of my 60-day challenge with Insanity Max 30. Thanks for checking in, and I'll see you in week 2.